Greetings. I'm Carla Stelrecht from LS&A's Instructional Support Services, and we're going to look at the tools for grading in Canvas. Let's start by accessing the course in the course list. To do that, click on Courses, and then click on the course you're interested in. We're going to look at two ways instructors can grade student submission. They can grade manually by entering grades directly into the gradebook, or they can use the speed grader. Let's talk first about why you would choose one method over the other. Speed Grader is a tool that enables you to move through student submissions quickly, entering scores and adding comments. For file upload assignments, you can annotate a student's work as well. Alternatively, the gradebook is fine for manually keying in grades when you have a relatively small group of students and you don't plan on entering comments or annotations. Let's start by looking at the gradebook. I have a practice course that has some assignments I can use. I begin by clicking on Grades in the course navigation menu. So here is my roster of pretend students in the first column, and there's a column for each of my assignments. In the individual cells, note the different symbols. I have a check mark here for an assignment that is complete. Hyphens indicate situations where students have not submitted their work yet, and in some cases you can see here that students have received a grade. The first thing I want to do is mute the assignment I'll be working on. This action ensures that no students will be notified that I am grading their work until I unmute the assignment. At that point, all students would receive information about their grade. To mute the assignment, I can hover in the assignment column header until an arrow appears. Clicking on it shows a list of actions I can take on the assignment, and the last one is Mute Assignment. When I confirm that I want to mute the assignment, a red symbol appears by the assignment title in the gradebook. Notice also that the assignment title here is a link back to the assignment details. You can also click over here on the right to reorder the student list by that assignment's scores, either highest to lowest or lowest to highest. A couple more things to point out before we grade a submission. First, the button up here that lets you choose which students to display by section. Also notice there are import and export buttons here that enable you to work with the entire gradebook. You can also download submissions for one particular assignment using the list we looked at before when we muted the assignment. Finally, you can click the gear icon to see more options related to the gradebook. So now let's look in more detail at the values for student submissions in the assignment columns. One of the things we see here is that this cell is yellow, which indicates that this student has resubmitted this assignment. Pink indicates that the assignment was submitted late. You'll see a variety of icons here that represent various types of submissions. A link indicates an assignment where the submission was a website URL, for example. A film strip icon indicates a video submission. So for instance, let's imagine that this reflection assignment was completed in class and I just wanted to go in and manually award points. I can double-click in the cell and enter the point value. I will give Rachel, my colleague, a 5 out of 5. So that's an example of manually entering grades right into the gradebook. Next, let's take a look at using Speed Grader to grade assignments. Let's look at the article review assignment that is worth 10 points. This T icon indicates that it's an online text submission and that Tester A has submitted a response. When I click in the cell, I see a small square in the upper right. Clicking on that square displays some additional options for working with the assignment. I can enter a grade and a comment, or I can view the assignment in Speed Grader. Let's do that. In Speed Grader, a number of actions can be performed via the buttons at the top of the screen. You can return to the gradebook here or to your course homepage. You can mute the assignment from here if you haven't done so already. You can use this drop-down arrow to display the list of students. There will be indicators here, if you've already graded students, which is very helpful. If you can't grade all the submissions for a large group of students at once, it makes it easy to recontinue and see where you left off. You can use the arrows here to move through student submissions. So it looks like Tester B hasn't submitted anything yet. Let's move to another student to see if there's anything for us to grade. Here is what Tester A submitted. I can read the information and then enter a grade here on the right, as well as a comment. I can attach items with my comments, and I can also leave voice or video comments if I prefer. I should also point out that up here at the top is information about the submission history. If a student has multiple submissions, you'll see information regarding that up here. Another type of assignment that's very useful for grading in SpeedGrader is uploaded file submissions. This icon indicates that I have one of those waiting to be graded. So let's take a look. Again, by clicking on that small square and then the link to SpeedGrader, I can take a look at all the student submissions for this assignment in SpeedGrader. With this type of assignment, I can annotate the student's work as well as enter a grade and comments. I can add different types of comments, as well as draw and other common types of annotation. When the student views the assignment grade, they'll see my markups. So that wraps up this quick look at manually entering grades and using SpeedGrader.